This is Zane Carter with WKRUG, public radio for a sleepy little mountain town. With its thick, foggy forests, boulders, and the occasional tidbits of strangeness, which leads me to our first, though sad story of the day. You guys know Mariana, the sweet elderly lady that gives out baked goods for the fall equinox and Halloween, and her small herd of cats. She was found dead in her home yesterday. Paramedics arrived first on the scene and disclosed that the cause of death appears to be a heart attack. Sadly, she has been sitting at her home for some time, and her kitties got quite a bit hungry, so they began gnawing on her. The funeral and wake will be closed casket. We honor her with a quite quick moment of silence, starting now. I'm sure everyone in our little town will miss Mariana and her fall goodies. The wake will be in a week, with the funeral happening the next day. After that, once her family and friends have had their chance at her things, and the rest of us will get a chance at the estate sale. Everyone, I'm pointing this out now, do not touch her cookbooks. I claim them. They're like gold to me. That woman's recipes are to die for. You know, I'm really gonna miss Mariana. She was a wonderful neighbor and friend. She tried to mother all of us that lived near her, making casseroles for me and the others on the street. Sometimes she'd go as far as to pack me lunch every time she could, which is almost every day. She's such a good cook. Serious people, her food was so good. She's also babysat kids when parents couldn't afford daycare, or if they just needed a day to themselves, to clean the house or whatever. Though those parents could get pretty miffed when their kids came home full of sweets and carrying a baby kitten. So very motherly and friendly. Oh, thanks, Lyle. Lyle's the best intern. He knows everyone's coffee preferences and makes us snacks. He's just wonderful. Moving on. In other news, our illustrious mayor announced budget cuts for public recreation, which includes maintenance for the park, the library, and cutting funding to our radio station, which is a serious issue. I personally think it's absolutely shameful. Kids adore the park with all its hidey holes and play sets to explore. I know there's also a small group that meets in the park once a month. Not entirely sure what they're doing that late at night, but they must love the park stay ending so late. Not to mention the library. It's in need of some serious upgrade. The newest computer has a floppy drive. A floppy drive. Does anyone even still sell floppy disks? How can anyone get anything done? Don't get me started on the stress and panic it's causing here. The station management was sobbing while clinging to a bottle of whiskey last I saw. Poor Lyle was fretting and worrying and looking into sales papers from the local Wally Mart. If he isn't doing that, he's hugging everyone. No joke, man. He just hugged the janitor. Not that hugging is a bad thing. It's like he senses when your guard is down and you just need a hug. The man's like poof. And he's on you like white on rice. Well, time to look at the local traffic here. It's not really that big of a difference because traffic is just traffic no matter where you go. But let's look into it. The main roads in and out of town are completely empty. Not a car for miles. It's almost as if someone were blocking them. Weird. Besides, the most cars seem to be circling the Wally Mart. Must be a sale or something going on. I'll ask Lyle about that or something later. There's been a small accident on Monroe Street. A car suddenly swerved off the road and then rammed into a tree. The strange part is that witnesses report that when someone went to go help out the driver, they found the empty car. No one saw anyone leave the car. It's kind of strange. Very weird. Maybe he ran out in a hurry. And now we look at everything that's going on in our tidy little, small little community where virtually nothing really happens. But we have some sort of events that go on. Let's jump into it and start with Sunday. Sunday, St. John's is having their monthly potluck and silent auction. Go on down for free food and prizes. I'll be down there, and I'll be giving out some prizes. Monday, the town bicycle, my ex Stacy Crowley is getting married. Yay. Everyone is invited to both the ceremony and reception, which will be an open bar and buffet. Miss Crowley will be marrying that quiet out-of-towner that moved here a month ago. You know, the polite accountant with the nice wavy hair. Poor Sat probably has the clap or something a lot worse. Whereas that everyone but the kiddies will have. If people can stay sober enough to keep the booze away from those sneaky little cretins we call children in this town. Wednesday, the library will be selling old books, homemade things like scarves, wreaths, and baked goods. The librarian hopes to raise enough money for 2 or 3 computers from this decade. Oh, that's wonderful. I thought things like that were supposed to be funded by the town. What the library needs is a decent-sized donation. The station got a huge donation a few years ago, and our stuff is pretty up to date last time I checked. Again, thanks to whoever did that. We would have shut down without it, and we would be without a public radio. Thursday, half-price burgers at Queenie's and let me see if I'm reading this correctly. Mariachi band? Huh. It's a little off for the kind of restaurant it is, but who am I to argue? Friday is Bring Your Kid to Work Day. There's a note here that says it doesn't have to be your child, just any child under 13. Has anyone checked this out? Like, serious, this is kind of creepy and weird. Can someone call someone? Get this investigated? Oh, thank you, Larry. You're the only one who does anything else around here. Thank you. Saturday will be like every Saturday. Don't go near the gazebo in the park. In fact, just don't go to the park. Now a word from our sponsors. Wally Mart! Things be cheap! Shop here forever! Sorry for the screaming, folks, but I'm just reading it like it's written, and everyone knows capital letters is textual screaming, especially here in America. And now the weather with Skylar. A lot of clouds over today, people of Salem. Perfect for cloud watching. On the way to the station, I saw the face of my dead wife. A fetus? Or maybe it was a hedgehog in a flower. Who really knows anymore? This town is just strange. It looks like it might rain later today, or tomorrow. Have your umbrellas and raincoats, just in case of God's tears. Or other liquid, like the unfortunate events of last year repeat itself. Just in case of the latter, remember colon peroxide, folks, or the locally owned and made red begone. Back to Zane in the newsroom. Thanks, Guy. Welcome back, listeners. So I asked Lyle about that small swarm of cars at the Wally Mart, and he told me that there isn't any sale or something going on. But when I sent the other intern, Mike, Mitch, Misha, whatever that guy's name is, to check out, he said there was only 2 or 3 cars in the lot and just as many as people in the store. It's like those cars were never there. I've been informed that the elementary school and middle school went into lockdown because of a large black Grim-like dog. As many of you know, Grims are omens of death. Principal O'Shea locked down the school and had the teachers leave a trail of meat chunks leading to the closest cemetery. While he was hiding in his office, where his secretary reported loud, frightened sobbing. Speaking of the children of our town and the cemeteries, remember that soon curfew will be in place once again, so get in those nightly walks and anything else that involves the moonlight. Don't want the events of 12 years ago to repeat, do we, dear listeners? Now that's the end of my time. We will be switching over to music for the rest of our evening here at WKRUG. Wishing you all a wonderful night. This is Zane Carter signing off.
Wait Standing emergency.
My mom and Daddy are having a fight.
Is he hitting her?
Stop it! Send the police, please.
Okay, we're going to be there. We're taking your baby. Let me talk to you. Where's your mom?
What?
Fighting again. What's going on?
They're having a fight because this is bingo forever and ever. They always have this because he has a cousin. He's always drinking beer and getting drunk. And Mom.
What's his name? What is his name? Your father's name?
He's my stepfather.
Okay, how old is he?
Stop it!
What's going on? Lisa? Lisa? Fighting again. What's going on?
Hurry, Mommy.
How's he hurting her?
He made his mommy.
Okay, don't cry. We're going to send the police.
Okay.
Okay, now where's your mother at right now?
She's in the room fighting with them. Okay, could you just send the police?
Yeah, they're on their way, but I'm going to keep you on the line until they get there, okay? Is your front door open?
Oh, no.
Okay, you go unlock it and come back to the phone so the officers can get in?
This way.
Okay.
He just knocked my sister out.
What sister that he knocked out?
My little sister.
Your
Oh my God!
What's the matter?
Nothing happened! Just wait for the police! Wait, I want to go see what happened, please!
Okay, the police are on their way, okay? Hello? Lisa? The police are on their way, okay?
Mama, the police are coming! My stepdaddy's got the baby now!
Yeah, Lisa, where is he at now?
What?
Lisa, where? Hello? Shit.